Hi, I'm Murphy Griffin, and welcome to episode 23 of Neophyte Boat Rights. In this episode, I'm going to be talking all about making and installing the quarterknees for my boat. So let's get to it. So a quarterknee, or the quarterknees, since they usually come in pairs, are functioning just like the breast hook did at the front of the boat. They're basically big wooden brackets that are installed at the top level to provide more rigidity to the shear plank. So here you're looking at the starboard quarterknee on my boat, and as I said, it's basically just a big wooden bracket. It functions to tie the transom in with the shear plank, but it also creates a landing notch for the end whale. So making the quarterknee entails fitting the joint at the transom side, at the shear plank side, and cutting the notch. The rest of the shape is arbitrary, though it's typical to make something that is reminiscent of what you see here. One of the important things to notice about a quarterknee is that it's basically making a 90-degree turn. And for this reason, straight grain pieces of wood aren't ideal for this application. So you basically have two options. One is to laminate up a piece of wood with the requisite curve to the grain. This will get you a piece that's perfectly suited for your quarterknee, but it is more time intensive and requires working with epoxy and cutting up lots of pieces of wood, so it's a decision one has to make. The other option is to find a piece of wood that is suitably curved in and of itself. I opted for the latter choice, and what you can see is I picked up some tamarack knees that are known for having a lot of curve in the grain. Although the grain here isn't perfectly curved, it is flowing a lot more along the 90-degree angle than a straight-grained piece of wood. Whether or not you decide to laminate or find a suitably curved piece of wood for your quarterknees, all the work really is in fitting the quarterknees. And despite the breast hook being a more challenging piece to make, I found the fitting and installation of the quarterknees a lot more persnickety. First, I needed to bevel down the top of the transom before I could start patterning out the quarterknees. This is because I decided to install the quarterknees so they were flush with the very top of the transom. It's not necessary to install the quarterknees this way, but it's what I opted for. Depending on what choice you make here aesthetically, it will change the beveling of the quarterknee when you go to join it to the boat. So here I'm patterning out the quarterknee, and right now I am just getting the angle between the transom and the shear plank. Once I cut the angle, I can offer the template to the boat to make sure it fits right. While the shape of the quarterknee is pretty much arbitrary, you do want to think about the length of your fasteners and how thick it needs to be with respect to that length. Once the template is cut out and roughly shaped in, I can lay it down on my tamarack knee blank and situate it so that I get the grain flow precisely where I want it. Of course, in addition to the flow of the grain, you want to think about dodging any other defects that might be in the wood, as well as sapwood. So here you can see that I've traced the template in a few times to get the grain orientation just where I want it. Sometimes you have to make some hard decisions so that you can dodge defects. Now that I know roughly where I'm going to get the quarterknee out of this blank, I'm going to trim off some excess so I can run it through the planer. Before finalizing where you're going to cut the quarterknee out, it is instructive to go ahead and plane up the piece so you can get a really good look at the grain. There may very well be some defects that are hiding from you. After the piece was planed, I retraced the template onto the blank and took it to the bandsaw to cut it out roughly. When dealing with really tight concave curves, I find using the oscillating spindle sander really indispensable to truing up the shape. So here I'm showing you the layout lines for the bevel development for the quarter knee. There's a really pronounced bevel on the back and a very slight rolling bevel on the shear side. Here you can see the shear side bevel fading down to nothing in 2 dimensions. This is what makes it a rolling bevel. I determined these lines by offering the piece to the boat and observing the gaps in the joint. Here's the big bevel on the transom side of the quarter knee. You may also notice that despite my best efforts, I still ended up picking up some sapwood. It was unavoidable. Since the transom side bevel is a non-rolling bevel, I start here because it'll help me get a fixed reference as I start to fit the shear side bevel. So I'm going to rough in the bevel with a handsaw and then clean it up at the sander. Once the bevel was roughed in with a handsaw, I adjusted the angle on the reference table for my combo sander and smoothed out the big bevel here. This is actually one of the trickiest parts about making the quarter knees. This is a really big pronounced bevel, so small adjustments require removing a lot of material. Before moving on to fitting the quarter knee, I decided to fabricate the other quarter knee since I was already in the groove. This process went just as before. I started out by making a template for the quarter knee, tracing the shape onto the tamarack blank, and then cutting it out of the bandsaw. Once it was rough cut, I cleaned up the shape at the oscillating spindle sander. Then I roughed out the big transom side bevel with a handsaw. Then to the combo sander for final tweaking and fitting of the big bevel. Okay, so I'm working on fitting the starboard quarter knee. I have already beveled the quarter knee along the transom side, and this bevel essentially corresponds to the rake that you see in the transom. Now I need to work on the bevel on the shear plank side of the quarter knee. Unlike the bevel for the transom side, the bevel here is a rolling bevel. So it's ever shifting as you move from one end of that face to the other. In order to figure out what that bevel needs to be, I put the quarter knee in situ and then observe the gaps in the top and the bottom on the shear plank joint and mark those onto the piece. So here you can see the pencil line on the inside corner and I've interpolated it as a linear line, so it goes down to nothing at the outside corner. Similarly, I interpolated the line from the shear plank side all the way down to nothing where I saw it was in full contact. Now the trick is to shape out the bevel so it's smooth in this dimension and in this dimension. So I rough in the bevel with a hand plane set to a really light rank. Here, a very little material makes a big difference in the fit, so you got to take your time here. Just like with the breast hook, I'm periodically offering the quarter knee to the boat to check the quality of the fit, and then coming back to the vise to adjust the bevel. I think this is an important part of the process, and there really is no shortcut. You just got to take your time. Once the fit was really close, I came back in with a file to make some fine adjustments. And here I'm using a really narrow square file because the range of adjustment was really small. Generally, it's better to use a wide file so you can register the flat of the file against the piece. But here I'm using a smaller file just because of how small the area is. Of course, I'm checking flatness as I go with a straight edge. And once I'm really close, then I come back in with a big flat chisel to smooth everything out. The final bit of work to do on these quarter knees is to cut the notches where the end wales will mount. Just like with the breast hook, I'm not cutting 90-degree shoulders for these notches. This will make it easier to install the end wales. Finally, the last thing to do before installing the quarter knees is to drill, counterbore, and countersink for the fasteners. So I've drawn in some sight lines to help me drill at the correct angle. So finally it's time to bed these suckers down and screw them to the boat. Here I've applied liberally quite a bit of dolphinite as my bedding compound, which makes it very slippery for the installation. Yet again, I'm using silicon bronze hardware to reduce corrosion. And when using silicon bronze fasteners, I highly recommend that you install them by hand because they're very much prone to stripping out and getting buggered up. So there's 2 screws on the inside of the quarter knee and then 2 screws on the outside of the quarter knee, one on the shear side and one on the transom side respectively. And it's important to make sure that you don't put a fastener where the end whale is going to connect with the notch of the quarter knee. You need to have that space clear. With the quarter knees installed, the shear structure is almost complete. The next big hurdle is the installation of the end wales, which mounts between the quarter knees and the breast hook, adding even more rigidity to the shear. While the quarter knees and breast hook and end wales will all make the boat look more handsome, it is important to remember that the main point is to make the shear stronger. Okay, so that's it for episode 23. I really hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next episode where I'll be continuing the installation of the shear structure in the Newfoundland Trap Skiff. If you haven't already, please consider liking this episode, subscribing to my channel, and if you feel so inclined, please become a patron on my Patreon. All the links will be in the description below. Until next time, bye.
Ow.